Everybody, how's it going? Wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on right now with basically MAGA. People's talking about MAGA is fractured right now. And this whole thing comes from there's some people who voted for Trump, like myself. I voted for Trump all 3 times he's ran. I have voted for him. And some of us have criticized some of his actions lately. And there's other people in MAGA, Trump supporters, whatever. They're ready to step up and accuse you of suddenly being un-American or even being a traitor, whatever, for simply criticizing Trump's actions. I don't agree with that. You should be able to express your thoughts, what you think, without being labeled as un-American. There's really nothing more American than expressing your opinion. We have the First Amendment, the freedom of speech. And I think it's a dangerous thing to be expected to support anybody 100% on everything. We're all humans. Every one of us, we're human. We're capable of mistakes. We're capable of making bad decisions. I've done it myself many times in the past. Trump is just as capable of making a mistake or a bad decision as any of the rest of us. And I think you should be allowed to speak up and criticize him. I have over this war with Iran. I don't think we should be over there in this. I have been critical of it. And I think you should be able to speak your mind without being labeled un-American. You'll have to excuse me, the pollen's really bad here in North Carolina right now. We've not had any rain in more days than I can count. Pollen's really bad. And everybody around here's getting choked up. But I think this sets a dangerous precedent to be expected to support anybody, I don't care who it is, to be expected to support anybody 100%. I think that's dangerous. I think you should be allowed to think for yourself, to come to your own decision, your own conclusion, and be able to speak without being labeled as un-American or labeled as a traitor, whatever. I heard somebody on YouTube a few nights ago, this guy, he was a Trump supporter, and he was criticizing people who have criticized this Iran war, talking about, they should be more American, they should support America. I support America, and I support America by wanting to keep us out of wars, especially wars I don't think we should be involved in. That's how I support this country. I don't like wars. And I especially don't like being mixed up in wars that I still don't think we should be involved in. Now, it may come out later that this war was justified. And if that's the case, okay, fine, I was wrong. But right now, I just don't see any reason for us to be over there, because we have heard for years that Iran is 2 weeks away from a nuclear weapon. They're on the verge of a nuclear weapon. And it's never happened. They don't have the nukes. They don't have missiles that can hit the U.S. And I know they said over there, the Iranian government, they said over there and chant all this death to Israel, death to America crap. I understand that. They don't have the warheads and they don't have the missiles. And I don't see how they're an imminent threat. We were over there last year. We bombed Iran. They said the Iranian nuclear program was destroyed. They were set back several years. And now a little more than 6 months later, we're back over there bombing them again because suddenly they were back on the verge of a nuclear weapon and they were an imminent threat. I can't believe it. I don't buy it. And that's why I don't support this war effort. That does not mean I'm un-American. It does not mean that I've completely turned against Trump. I voted for Trump, but I've never supported him on everything that he did. I didn't his first term, and I don't now. But that does not make me un-American, and I just think it sets a dangerous precedent for people to be expected to support anybody and follow anybody 100% without thinking, without questioning. I think it's dangerous, and I really think that's un-American. That's just my opinion on the situation. Thanks for watching.